Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Take It From Somebody That Knows. I'm your host, Diggy Knows. And tonight, I have the pleasure of one of my childhood friends who is so extraordinary these days. And very, very pivotal young woman from here, Newport News, Virginia. East End Stand Up. Um, Without further ado, I'm gonna let her do her own introduction. Miss Nicole Green. Round of applause. welcome. So, what I normally do is these are just conversations, and I know we talk a lot, and on our journeys we have like some crazy stories that I think that they're not crazy. I think they're inspiring.
Right.
Stories that aren't our own. They don't belong to us. And after talking to you and getting a better understanding of the life and times of Miss Nicole Green,
I tell you.
I'm sitting here waiting to have you divulge this evening. So, just wanted to talk to you and ask you, for starters, what do you want the audience to gain from our conversation tonight?
If I could say the main takeaway, I would want the audience to leave with is hope. Um, I would want them to understand that they are greater than
Mm-hmm.
their last bad moment. That doesn't define them. That doesn't define where they're going. And just to establish that, like, giving up shouldn't be an option. Because I am a living testament.
Girl. So, the other day we sat, because I was like, I'm going to dive deep.
Yeah.
I'm going to dive deep. And we were on the phone for about at least 2 hours.
Yeah.
So my question is, how do you prepare your heart for sharing this story? Because I'm moved. I was moved by it.
Because it's not my own. I have experienced these things in order to encourage someone else. We like to personalize things and take them on as our own. Oh, this happened to me. Why am I going through this? But ultimately, this was not my first response. But growing and understanding and building my relationship with God, that I understand that I went through things so that I could share this testimony.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for me to keep safe and secret. It's for me to encourage someone else.
Okay.
So it's easy.
So should we can go a million different ways. I want to just start with like your path. I think we talked about, the princess attitude, princess versus this Miss Thing attitude.
Yeah.
And how I, was just on the outside looking in. I'm thinking like, she mean to the mug. Like, see,
Mm-hmm.
what was it about your rearing or how you were brought up or your experience that led to your outlook on the world being as such?
Um, I went through a lot of things as a child that no child should ever endure. And so, but you're always taught in the black household, what happens here stays here.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like you having a Vegas experience, and it's no fun though.
Mm-hmm.
And I went through things not knowing how to convey those outwardly or share that to anybody because I'm not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to know.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like suffering in silence. And so when you don't deal with issues, they deal with you.
Mm.
But I wasn't mature enough to know that. So while I'm outwardly expressing this attitude, I'm inwardly fighting. I'm fighting for my life every day. Going home not knowing what my household gonna look like, what I'm going to endure when I go home. Dealing with sexual abuse, dealing with neglect, dealing with my father not being there, dealing with my mother being on drugs and her not being there, dealing with living with an aunt who was an alcoholic, and they didn't consider it abuse then, but it was abuse. So I encountered and dealt with so many things that when I came to school, everybody laughing and smiling. I'm trying to hold back my tears. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be in school today. I don't want to be smiling. I was fighting somebody off of me last night.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. But you know, again, you were like one of my good friends growing up. Like, and for you to even never even share that type of information, I mean, like that was like a deep, deep space. And that's the stuff that like would usually break people.
Yeah.
What kept you sane?
Like, it was a part of me that almost had to shut down. It had to die.
Yeah.
Because in order to carry that type of pain, you got to smother something so deep. Outside of that, I would have shattered. And then I did not have the relationship that I have with God then that I have today.
Yeah.
But it just was always something in me that it was like, you can't give up. You got to keep pushing. You got to keep going. Even when I would want to. I used to pray and ask God, don't let me wake up. I don't want to wake up to this. I don't want to see this. I don't want to endure this.
Yeah.
And he continued to let me wake up. And he continued to let me keep going and keep moving. And of course, in hindsight, I understand why. But in the moment of all of that happening, I was like, what is the purpose? This can't be life.
Right.
Like, what is the purpose of me continuing to move forward?
Given all of that, because we're gonna dive into it, but I just wanted just to one set the stage for like what we're gonna be diving into and like how you made it out of it. The story's pretty unbelievable. Like I was getting it as a little bit at a time, and the more you spoke, I was like, I'm compelled. I believe you when you say like, yo, this is you went through this for a reason.
Yeah.
And most people don't understand suffering. You said something the other day about like our ability to endure. Like we're supposed to be able to endure because for throughout this life until we go back in the dirt.
Yeah.
We're going to suffer.
We are.
And most people don't understand that. So like again, what allowed you to arrive? I mean, because there's some people who profess deep faith.
Right.
But they'll turn around and say, God, why? How did you arrive at this level of wisdom?
I don't think it's so much of a attack either on their faith.
Yeah.
Because Jesus asked why. He said, hey, can you pass this cup? Because I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
You know? And so I think the more that I spent time with God, the more I grew in strength and faith, that when the trials would come, I would have to go back to where he brought me from. Go back to where I thought, oh my goodness, this is the end, this is it. But he got me over that last time too. So I have evidence. I have evidence that you are who you say you are. And you're going to do what you said that you were going to do. Which leads me to this place that even in my hard time, I have to speak truth to my emotion. Because when we go through things, we're very emotional. And we want to throw in the towel. But I'm stronger than this moment. This moment can't break me because the last one didn't break me. So I have to keep going. Because someone needs to hear this. Someone needs to see this. That you kept going no matter what. And so that's where I get that tenacity and that faith from.
Shoot. So, we're looking at, well, understanding your story, and like times have changed. Times are constantly changing.
Yeah.
And what I foresee is like some rough patches ahead.
Yeah.
Um, and I want people, like, we're going to kind of go through your life
Mhm.
so that this story can resonate with the younger people,
Mhm.
middle age, and I guess we older now, like the uncles and aunties, but people at our age, and maybe somebody who's beyond our years, and pull some from the story as well. So, touching on like just starting at the beginning, like your childhood and the loss of innocence.
So
You said with something, you said pain changed people.
it does.
Yes, I wanted you to kind of like like dive into that, as you know, your childhood and you kind of like losing that innocence and waking up to the adult world before you're supposed to.
I remember I had told this story before um about my mom. I was about 6 years old,
Hmm.
and she had left us in the house for like days. And my brother, it was all of me and my siblings. So it was five of us. The oldest being seven, I was six, and so on down, all the way down to a newborn, which was my youngest brother. And I remember it was something that rose up in me that I was so angry, I was so pissed. And I said, I'm going to find her, but I'm 6 years old. And so I knew where my mom would be. I knew where she would go, to get high.
Hmm.
And so me and my sister, we went to the woman's house that she would be at. And I remember knocking on the door, and my mama answered the door. And I looked up at her and I said, You left us in here for days. We don't have any food. We don't have any lights. When are you coming home? And she grabbed me and pushed me back out the door and told me I wasn't going to mess up her high. And something in me broke at that age,
6.
at 6, that I was like, I'm going to have to learn how to do a whole lot of things quickly.
Oh.
And I remember going back home, because we was living out Woodstone, going back home, and I was crying, and then it was like a part of me hardened because I wiped my tears.
Hmm.
And I told God, I said, You can't be real. Because how can you let me go through this? How can you give me to two parents that don't love me?
Mm.
And I went to the payphone and I called my grandmother, and she came and got us. And so that was like my first real experience with pain where I could pinpoint it. And so going further, every disappointment would just build on that seed of pain
Yeah.
to the point where my heart was so hardened and I was so bitter that it came outwardly the way that you all used to see me
Mm.
at school.
Yeah.
And it's like, I didn't know how to control that. I didn't even know, I didn't have the tools to even deal with that.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm a kid. And now I'm being forced to deal with all of these adult things, but no one's teaching me anything.
Whew. Whew.
No one's teaching me anything. I don't know how to manage this.
Yeah.
But I'm being led to believe that it's mine. And so progressing on to a young adult, uh, a young girl in high school going through the traditional broken home, the no daddy, the no mama, looking for love in all the wrong places, just want to belong to someone, right? Because it's an innate response in us to want to belong. It's an innate response for us to want to be loved. And so I'm looking at what everybody else doing. They got them a dude or a few. Well, I need something because somebody got to love me. Right? Somebody got to love me.
Damn.
And so outwardly, that caused me to defile my body. That caused me to endure abuse, whether it was physical, whether it was verbal, mental, financial. And it kept building on to a grown adult woman. And I hear people say things like, how can she do this? She's a grown woman, but is she really?
I hear that.
You don't know the last place she stopped growing at.
Right.
You don't know where she's been stunted at. You don't know the last place she had to die mentally in order to still be standing here today. So I feel like God allowed me to go through so much pain in order to have compassion and understanding for people that would endure these places, because I was judgmental about certain things until he allowed me to endure them. I would say, oh, I would never let a man hit me. Every relationship that I had been in my past, a man put his hands on me. And I thought that that was normal because I had seen my mom go through it. I had seen other women around me go through it. So this has to be love. But pain begets pain. And broken people don't heal you. They just break you further. And so the catalyst was my ex-husband. He literally tried to take my life. He literally held me at gunpoint and told me that he was going to kill our child, then kill me, then kill himself. And I had been in abusive relationships before, but I fought back. So I felt, again, like this was normal. But in this space, before then, I had never had any type of fear for my life. But in that moment, I didn't know if I was going to make it out of that moment. And so I prayed in the midst of this man telling me that he was going to blow my brains out, that he was going to make me famous, meaning I was going to be on the 11 o'clock news. I prayed. And the Lord heard my cry because I'm here.
Yeah, so that sounds like survival.
Yeah.
So you survived that. And coming out of that survival, that leads to like a form of self-awareness. He like,
yeah.
What because you're here, and I want to understand the play-by-play if it's not being too intrusive.
Oh, no.
Like from that moment where you like within a slither of a second of your world ending, what does the next moment look like? Like how do you of course you have a new level of gratitude,
Mhm.
new level of awareness.
Mhm.
Where do you go from there?
So here's the thing, right? When people say things like, "Why didn't she leave?" Right? People that stay in abusive
Right.
relationships, because most people that stay, they're broken.
Mm.
They don't know their self-worth.
Right.
So they'll rather accept anything than to have nothing. And I struggled. Even after this man put a gun in my head, I struggled on, should I stay? Should I go? Is this really the worst thing in the world? Because again, we are born into sin and then shaped in the iniquity.
Mm.
So everything that had shaped me had told me that these things were okay. Everything that had shaped me had told me I better hold on to what I got, because the people that was supposed to love me didn't really show up. But God, I'm telling you, He intervened.
Mm-hmm.
And He began to speak to me about my worth. And He would lead me to read about who I was and who He says I am
Mm-hmm.
and what He thinks I'm worth. And day by day, I got stronger, because I wasn't really in love. That wasn't the thing that held me there.
Oh.
It was the attachment of the trauma. It was the, I'm used to you, because I've dated you all my life. I'm used to you. I know you. I'm even comfortable with you,
Oh.
because I've dated you all my life. Your face just looked different, but your characteristics were the same.
Mm.
Your behaviors were the same. You treated me the same.
You was it was a spirit.
It was a spirit.
Mm.
And I dated this spirit my entire life until God broke that stronghold.
Mm.
It had to show me my value. It had to show me my worth, and that it's not negotiable.
Mm. So that's healing and rebirth.
Oh, my goodness.
Healing and rebirth. So to get there, you know, I take it just from your upbringing, you won't brought up in like a real religious background,
No.
and like I heard you when you say like God speaking to you,
Mm-hmm.
and I can attest. I know what that feels like. I know
Mm-hmm.
it's as audible as the words that I'm speaking
Yes.
right now. Um, when you had that moment where you touched, like, what was your response? Because I thought I was going crazy. I promise.
Well, He's always spoken to me, though.
Mm.
Even when I was little, He always spoke to me.
Mm-hmm.
I just ain't want to hear what you were saying,
Mm.
because I had a problem with the He behind you.
The who?
The He that was behind His name.
Mm.
I don't trust no man.
Ah.
So, okay, I hear you, but I don't trust you either. And so, it wasn't until He literally kept reaching for me throughout my life. He kept reaching for me. I kept seeing His hand on my life. I kept seeing Him save me. That I said, okay, well, let me see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But because I did not grow up in the church, I did not grow up going to Sunday school, doing all that. My grandmother used to take
Mm-hmm.
me to church and everything. I used to go to sleep. I didn't pay attention, but I still knew that God was powerful and I knew that he was almighty. But the manner in which I knew him as a deity,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know him as a father. I didn't know him as a friend. I didn't know him as my protector
Yeah.
because I had been through all these things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you ain't protect me. You allowed these things to happen to me because you can stop anything. I know that about you.
Yeah.
You know, that was my mindset, but it wasn't until I got in relationship with him that I understood that I need you to be my mouthpiece because you going to tell the people. There are other people around here with powerful testimonies that they keep to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
We have to tell the people. We
Mm-hmm.
have to encourage them. This life is not our own, but be effective.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way for you to be effective is for you to share what you've endured and how you got over it.
Because some people hold on to this word resentment.
Huh.
Hold on to things that they feel like went didn't go that the way that they wanted them to go,
Mm-hmm.
and not knowing that the path we are on is the path that's for us.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what anything else outside of that looks like. And so to hear your parents, right? Um, and we talk about healing and rebirth. What does the relationships look like for you today?
Well, my father passed away in 2017, and we didn't have a relationship. But God allowed me to go to his home, a place I had never been before.
Mm.
And I went to his home and I looked through his things, and he used to doodle my name. And he had things about parenting and being a better parent. And
Damn.
it gave me a closure
Yeah.
that I needed because while he was not effective, right, in being a father, I don't think it was because of malice that you just didn't want to do it. I think that it was because you lacked the tools to do it.
Ooh.
And as a child, right,
Mm-hmm.
that's a lot to chalk up.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the same goes for my mom
Mm-hmm.
because I love God. I honor her and I respect her. Even though I know you may not ever be the mother that I want, right? It's a part of me, that little girl, that's still like, I want my mama.
Mm-hmm.
But the grown adult is like, you may never get that. So you going to have to find a way to move forward and honor, though.
Say that. Elaborate on that, because people can. I think that you're speaking at a level. Let's make it digestible.
So when I say I have to move forward and honor,
Mm-hmm.
it's that it's not that her actions don't affect me, but you have to be bigger than that emotion, right? Some of the things she does hurts me, but you got to learn how to forgive quickly because I can't hold on to that.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you moved on, I'm still holding on to that. And also learning boundaries with
Mm.
people, that I have to let you carry your own cross. I can't enmesh myself in this process. Sometimes you got to love people from afar.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what that looks like for me. It's not the relationship that I would like to have, but I still honor her. I still respect her. I still love her, and I pray for her daily.
So looking at your um relationship with your parents and what you wanted, how has that shaped the mother that you are today?
Whew. There are pros and cons with that.
Yeah.
Um, and nobody wants to really get into the fact that we are who we are and we have the strength that we have because of what we endured.
Mm-hmm.
It built you.
Mm-hmm.
And coming into our form of parenting, I don't want my children to go through this.
Yeah.
I don't want them to have to endure this.
Yes.
And they're very soft skinned.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, okay. And so, but again, I feel like in parenting, you do not have a manual. Again, you are going off of the way you were shaped.
Right.
But I knew the way that I was shaped, or rather, I wasn't shaped, was not what I wanted to give my kids. So I had to be intentional, very intentional about the way I came across
Mm-hmm.
because I was hard. I was a hard woman, a hard person. Like, like, you know what I'm saying? And that was all I knew because that was my protection.
Yeah.
And so when I had Jordan, I'm like, God, I want to be able to love her.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to be soft with her. Show me how to do this. My daughter changed me.
Mm.
She was the beginning of the change. And I didn't do it for myself because I didn't care enough about me. But I did love her.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do this for her.
Mm.
And she was my reason why until I was strong enough
Yeah.
to do it for me.
Yeah.
You know? And so I feel like the pros are I love my children. I have provided them stability. I provide them opportunities that I did not have.
Right.
But the con of it is I don't think I've allowed them to endure enough in a sense.
Okay. We're gonna dive into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think so. This is something that I wrestle with my kids too, and um, I want us to be able to breathe, exhale a little bit, and give ourselves some grace, and as well as our kids too,
Yeah.
because our mindset is usually centered around the fact that they ain't go through what we went through, so y'all ain't ready for the world. We shaped them up because we gave them a leg up
Yeah.
that they don't have to experience the things that we worried about.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they're not worried about where you are and you're leaving them in the dark, like they don't even have that thought. They can't even formulate that thought, which is we think like we hold on to trauma like a badge of honor.
Gosh almighty.
Like I'm hard. I should have never had to see that. So the fact that you have created an environment that has made them softer
Yeah. Right?
is good.
Yeah.
So give yourself that. Like, you know what I mean? Like that means that's a sign of progress. That's a sign of growth. That's a sign of you matter while you were here. Because I know everything you do is centered around purpose and legacy.
Yeah.
Like, so you have a clear indicator. If you were ever laying on your deathbed and wondering if you did something right, God damn it, you did it, yo.
Them girls.
They it. They your walking billboard.
I'm telling you.
I have and I'm gonna tell y'all, look, a focus here. I have the pleasure of working with Jordan. I've been working with her for the past 3 or 4 weeks, the past month. Every Sunday she comes in and she's the most vibrant, studious, witted, like business astute young woman, 17 years old. She lets me know every time she's about to be 18. It's her birthday coming up, y'all. But no, she's true about everything that she says that she wants. And like she's a clear reflection of you. Like I tell her when I close my eyes, I see you, and it's scary. She's like, I don't sound like my mama, and I'm like, girl, you mama's child.
That is so funny.
But just to give you that, from what I've been seeing from her, I know she's poised, she's ready for the world.
That
So
makes me feel so good.
clap it up for you. You know what I mean? You did a hell of a job, and you're still doing it. And the fact that you allow me to be influential in her life, I think that it inspired me to be better. For one, when you call me and like, Brandon, my daughter ready,
It's time to pull.
um, it was like something to kind of like get me out of a
Mm-hmm.
funk. Like, and I'm sitting here telling you, I don't know if I'm ready. She's like, you ready? She coming tomorrow. Like, let's get to it. And I think that we underestimate what we're able to do.
Yeah.
And I to everybody listening, like,
Trauma response too.
yo, we gotta use these kids to help us battle through it because they are more prepared than what we think. They are more prepared than what these devices show us.
Yeah.
Society tells us. We gotta learn how to connect with them. We gotta sit down and understand their language. If we don't take the time to like understand how they speak, how they move, we could be just like the generation before us. They got left behind that didn't know what the internet was, didn't know how to use their cell phones. There's some people now, I promise you, don't know how to input people in their phones.
Yeah.
So you got to stay with it with these kids. And once you connect with them and they understand you, there's a level of respect. That's when you can stretch them. But if you never make that bond, you can't stretch them. So taking it back to you and your legacy and purpose driven and everything that you do that's like so calculated. You might not think about it like that, but you are. Um, I'm listening to everything that you're doing, and we talked a little bit about you crossing a barrier. Like this is your first time on the set,
Yeah.
first time on the set, and I'm telling you, and we talk about this like this is where you're supposed to be.
I received that.
So, um, I don't know if this came up in our conversation or if you were already thinking it. And then I said, like, oh, we was like forgotten people. Like, you want to help empower the forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pushing you to, we have the space, we have the everything to get this podcast started. So when we walked in here tonight, she said the name of the show is what?
It's a cold world.
It's a cold world.
COLE.
So let's talk about that because I want to get y'all all geared up. Because I don't want to break too deep into her story. I want to leave some of the meat on the bone. So when we do this spinoff, y'all know which questions to ask directly. But let's just talk about like what is your vision on it?
Um, Let me give you a little bit of backstory.
Yeah.
God gave me that name 2 years ago.
Mm.
And so I kept trying to help him. Like, I should be doing something. I should be moving forward. This is why he doesn't give us the whole vision because we want to contaminate and we want to rush it.
Mm-hmm.
But he knows the timing and what we need.
Right.
So I could not think of. I'm like, I got so much in here. I don't know what I'm gonna say to these people. Like, what am I supposed to be conveying, Lord? Who is my audience? And it wasn't until very recently that he said, I need you to go after the one that's forgotten, the one that's lost, the one that's left behind, the one that feels like they're not loved,
Mm.
that they're rejected,
Mm.
that they're abandoned. All that I have endured. I need you to go after that one because everybody else going after the 99.
Mm.
They going after the ones, the group. I need you to go over here though because those people still waiting. They still need a voice.
Mm.
And so I'm like, okay, Lord. And so when we talked about this initially, about you and Jordan doing y'all work, and it was in my spirit to bring it up about the podcast, it had been in my spirit for a while. I had to ask God for forgiveness because delayed obedience is still disobedience.
You pay for it though, Matthew 22.
Exactly. Come on here. But I'm like, okay, God. And so I just feel like there is a season, this is the season that those people that are called to my voice, I kept asking God for community.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you need me to help? I just want to be effective
Mm-hmm.
because that's real purpose. And here we go.
That make me all happy. Look, I'm glad that, um, I'm glad we're in company. And I heard you earlier when you said, God always had his way, his hand was always there. You always heard his voice. I guess I'm sitting here reflecting,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't know anything else. But hearing you say that, it just brings me back to, because I've been around some extraordinary people in little old Newport News.
Yeah.
And all these years later, like, I can still pick up the phone and
Yeah.
still good.
Yeah.
Like, I know that's not normal. I know it's divine. It's like, nah, you got your people. Your people been here.
Right.
Your people been here. My people always been pushing, saying, let's go, let's do this. But all of this work got me here to
Mm-hmm.
where it's like now, um, I gotta believe it. I gotta call the shot.
Yeah.
And so when you say it's the season, it's like, it ain't. I do know that there's nothing we can't do. I know it all starts with what we say is gonna go,
Correct.
and I don't know. It's all of that imposter syndrome, all of that stuff moving now,
Mm-hmm.
and it's time for the people. Like, we've been here already. We know who we are. We've been around each other. Like, it ain't no second guessing, and in alignment with that legacy, they watching us.
It's people that are waiting
Yeah.
on you to line up because you are connected to them lining up.
Mm-hmm.
And so the more that you delay,
It's the whole
you
chain.
delaying a whole process, a
Mm.
whole community of people.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I had to ask God for forgiveness because I'm like, who waiting on me? Who you got waiting on me to arrive? And and I'm delayed.
Mm.
But because of your grace and your mercy, you always bring it back around.
Mm. I'm ready to work.
Well, let's work.
I'm ready to work.
Let's work.
Nicole, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. I think we probably hitting like 40 something minutes, but the conversation felt like it was a breeze. Is there anything you want to say to the people, your parting words, um, something that you want them to take from today's conversation?
I want them to see me still standing. Like, see that I'm standing up in every situation that I've endured in this life. I'm still standing up. I'm not giving up. I'm still hopeful. I still know that everything that the Lord has purpose and promise for me, it's still going to come to pass. So if I could leave them with anything, it's hope. Don't lose hope. It is greater later.
Boom, boom. So, um, are we standing up our Instagram pages, our social medias with Cold World? What?
Yeah, I mean, I'm here. You the plug.
Okay.
So,
All right.
and the producer.
So, so coming out. Well, we're gonna go ahead and put it out there. What is it taken yet? We'll figure that out. But by the time this production is complete, you'll have an Instagram name and Facebook page on where you can find Miss Nicole Green. If you enjoy this conversation, you'll be able to direct message her there. Um, and yeah, if you got anything else for me,
Excited.
we're gonna keep building. This is what community is all about.
That's right.
This is the world that we're going to shape.
Let's go.
It's game time. Uh, Collaborative efforts, peace party people. Gotta shout my man out.
I know that's right.
Is the dream is real, is whatever we say it's going to be. So until next time, take it from somebody that knows. We're now signing off with Miss Nicole Green, Cold World.